Narayan Narayan Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Narayan Narayan Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Narayan Narayan Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Narayan Narayan Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Oh Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Jai Jai Gopala Hare.
Narayana Narayana Jai Jai Govinda Hare, Narayana Narayana Jai Jai Gopala Hare,
Narayana Narayana Jai Jai Govinda Hare. Narayana Narayana Jai Jai Gopala Hare. Hari Narayana, 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 Hari Om. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, 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 Hari Om.
Lovely. Me too. Wow. You all wrote this? All the text also, eh? Wow. Great. Tell me, What should we discuss today? What do you want to do? Sing more or talk? Talk.
Dear Guruji, why do we get excited watching fantasy movies even though we know they are not real? Mind. What is the characteristic of the mind?
The kids are asking this question.
I don't know. Could be a grown-up. Child at heart.
Yeah, I wonder. That's my question. That's my question to you. Why you keep watching? You know, perhaps because you're not finding anything much more thrilling, much more exciting than this. Then so you go back to that. But I would like you to look out and see how people are on this planet. It is much more fun. Yeah. Don't think people are very real. See them all as characters. I tell you, you have great fun in life. Instead, you take them too seriously. Then you get into trouble. Got it?
Dearest Gurudev, for people in the hall who are not spiritual and base their beliefs in science, could you please explain how science and spirituality go hand in hand?
Spirituality is science of consciousness. So there are two streams of thought. One is Oriental, the other is Occidental. In the Occidental, the thought is always first you have faith and one day you will get an experience. Faith or beliefs come first. You have faith, you have belief, then one day in the future you will get experience. Contrary to this, in the Oriental, they say, first you experience and then you will develop the faith. Now, why science has always been in loggerhead with the Occidental philosophy is because of this reason. Science believes, science says first experience, then we will postulate it. Theorems are built only after the experiment. Concepts were conceived only after an experiment. On the contrary, the Oriental thinking or philosophy and science were never ever clashed in the history. If you see, because the paradigms were the same, the parameters were the same. So the Orient never clashed with science. In fact, it goes the same step of science. Says what? First you understand 5 elements. They don't talk about God. Know the creation. What is the creation about? 5 elements. And then what else is in creation? Consciousness. And consciousness has got 4 aspects: mind, intellect, memory and ego. understand one by one these other four aspects of nature. So totally there are 9 aspects of nature. And then there is something which is reference point for all the changes. And you go to that. That is the self. And self is synonymous to God, the big self. So the procedure to God realization has always been through these steps. There is a story in the Upanishad. A small boy asks his father, "Dad, what is God like?" The father takes the child by hand, comes out of the house and asks a question. Here the questions are answered by another question. The father asked the child, "What was here before the house was built?" And the child looks around and says, "Space. Suppose this house is demolished, what will remain here?" The child said, "Space. Now where does this house stand now?" The child said, "Dad, it is in the space." Then he said, "That is what is Brahman, that is what is God. Come, come, Brahman. God is like the space in which everything is born, in which everything is sustained, to which everything dissolves. That thing which is like the space is God." So the systematic step-by-step understanding of divinity was also conceived. On another occasion, the Upanishad same thing is said. The boy comes and asks, "What is God?" "That which sustains everything is God, and what sustains food, go." And that boy goes and thinks, "Oh, food is God." And then he thinks and thinks, after a few years contemplating on that, comes back, again asks the question. Then the master replies to the child, "Prana is God, the life force is God, go." Then he goes back and studies about the life force, then finds his life force is not all that is. There is something more. Comes back and asks the question again. Third time. Now the master tells him, "Mind is God. Go." So once you get that formula, you have to go and dwell on it, think on it, because the questions were encouraged in the Oriental philosophy, the Oriental thought process. You need to ask questions and inquiry, self-inquiry. Don't take anything because I have said it, and go into the depth of it. That is what is the baseline. So the student goes and learns a lot about the mind and comes back and says again, asks, "What is God?" He doesn't argue with the teacher. "Hey, you told me food is God. You don't know. How could you say such wrong things to me?" He has the faith, when the teacher is saying something, there is a purpose to it. And teacher also knows how to take someone step by step. Suddenly tell them something which they have no idea about, they'll not get anything out of it. So you have to lead someone by hand, step by step. So he says, Vijnanam Brahma. He says science is God. Heightened awareness is God. So the boy goes and does a lot of work on consciousness, heightened consciousness, is not satisfied. After a few years, he comes back and says, "What's God?" Now the master says, bliss is God. And then he goes in search of bliss and goes deep in meditation. When he finds bliss, he doesn't come back. Because all questions disappeared. And so realized, yes, Satchidanand, truth, consciousness and bliss is the nature of God. And beauty is God. So this is the scientific way of reaching or understanding the absolute reality.
Dear Guruji, I left the organization 3 years ago. Can I come back to you and teach again?
Left? What do you mean by left? The world is my organization. You are breathing, you are doing you have stopped your practice, you continue your practice. You can come back, I know, teach. I know.
This is from a kid. Dear Guruji, how did you become a master?
By default. I didn't want to become a master at all. I have no such idea. I kept sharing what I know, teaching what I know, then by default I became a master.
If the ego is the cause of misery, then why do we develop it in the first place? How can one enjoy life with the ego?
Ego has its job, its purpose. Let it be there. Why you want to get rid of it? No need to get rid of it. Just recognize it, keep it in the pocket. Don't show it to everybody all the time. You can have your ego as big as you want. If your pocket doesn't fit, you can carry a suitcase to keep your ego. But no need to exhibit it to everybody. Do you see what I'm saying?
Dear Gurudev, could you please talk about karma yoga? I love yogic practices and also my job. However, they seem to create conflict as there are only 24 hours in a day. Jai Gurudev.
Anything you do, put your 100%, and that's karma yoga. A job done as an expression of joy is karma yoga. A job done expecting joy is a karma yoga. You're doing a work and you expect some joy out of it, I tell you, you'll be disappointed. Disappointment is waiting for you. Every act you do, everything you do should be an expression of your happiness, your joy. And where do you find the happiness? Within yourself. You are the source of happiness. And anything you do should be expression of that happiness. Next.
Dearest Gurudev, in spite of being on the path for many years, many times life seems meaningless. When this happens, what to do?
Give a pat on your back. You're so lucky. You're trying to find meaning where there is no meaning. My dear, wake up. Life is a game. And games don't have a meaning in it. You win or lose, it's still enjoyable. Don't sit and philosophize your life too much. Get out there in the field and play with the kids. Go out and serve those who are in need. Unite the hearts and minds of people who are divided with so much prejudice, anger, hatred. Bring them all together. Do something, Reflect on your own life. Think what is that you can contribute to life, to others, or to knowledge. If you put your attention on this, you will have no time to sit and think whether you are successful or unsuccessful, or is there any meaning or no meaning. If you keep searching for the meaning in life, what comes to your hand is depression. Everything appears meaningless, and that is good. This is the time when you can turn inward and go deep in meditation. Without meditation, there is no juice in life. There is no juice. And without juice, life will always appear very dry. Meditation is the answer. And connection with the divinity is the answer. And just wake up and know you are connected. That's it. Period. Never question your connection with the divinity. Got it? Got it? Everybody? Yeah.
Dear Guruji, how to come out to an Indian family as a lesbian?
See, whichever culture you belong to doesn't matter. Whatever tendencies you have doesn't matter. As long as you realize you are a fountain of joy. You are the spirit. Keep this identity in your mind. You'll come out of all sorts of self-blame or low self-esteem or victim consciousness or whatever that is. You'll feel uplifted. It doesn't matter what your tendencies are, what your preferences are. It's secondary. The primary thing is to realize that you are a beautiful spirit. Got it?
What do you think about the events in politics in recent months? Do you think people should get involved and vocalize their opinions, i.e. being an activist?
Your choice. That's your choice. Yes, if you are an activist, if that is your passion and you have skills in that field, just go for it. Yeah, go. Yes.
How does alcohol affect meditation?
Adversely.
Dear Guruji, how do you stay so calm when people around you can get so frenzied? Jai Gurudev.
I wonder myself. I didn't do anything to get calm, I didn't do any big practices or nothing. It's in my nature.
Dear Guruji, what is happiness? You ask, are you happy? But I don't know what happiness is.
Then forget it. Why bother?
Guruji, when are you coming to Mexico? We need you so much.
Yeah, Mexico is doing very good. Already lots of programs are happening in Mexico. I know hundreds and thousands of youths are learning there. Young people are learning. I saw a small video of the parents, the mothers talking about how their teenage kids have changed and how the transformation that has happened in their lives. That was interesting. Very nice.
Guruji, why is it so hard to see you?
Am I not visible? Just on your cell phone, there is an app, Sri Sri app. Just press that, you can see me anytime. Wherever, in whichever part of the world I am, every Thursday, I am on webcast. And even other days also. Like even today we are on webcast. Yeah. So, you can see me. And very easy, another way, just close your eyes. And that's it. You see, I am with you, you are with me. Yeah.
What is one message to all kids?
Why you want to limit the message to just one message? Why should we not have many messages? Is there any dearth of messages or ration? Why do we need to ration them? Kids love varieties. Let them get many messages. I would say the first thing is honoring non-violence. Get them to take a vow to stand against violence. Stand up against violence. Or cultivate non-aggressive communication. Yeah? You know, in communication, we become so aggressive, and that gives rise to violence slowly. Do you want to see how you can trigger violence in someone else? Huh? Just ask them any stupid question. And keep asking them. Once, twice, thrice, fourth, fifth time, you will see their voices rising. And you ask them again, the sixth time, they will take things, whatever they have in their hand. You have to guard yourself against that. An unanswered question or a fermented question creates aggression in anyone. It's a skill that we need to develop and encourage to communicate in a non-aggressive manner. Yeah, next.
Dear Guruji, it's taking so many years to change the habit of worry, anger, short-temperedness. Why my consciousness gets stuck on these things? I feel behind others in getting things in life, being relaxed and happy. JGD.
Listen, don't be too hard on yourself. Like sometimes you're hard on others. On the other hand, you get so hard on yourself. It's okay to get angry, my dear. So what? It's okay. It's okay to get upset. You got upset because you got upset. And this chain continues. No, don't let this happen to you. If you find some imperfection in you, accept them. Okay, it can be there. Let it be there. And give it to the higher power, highest power. If I cannot change something in me by my own effort, I simply have to say, let the higher power, the higher being, take care of this. Let the divinity take care of it. That prayer of helplessness from a state of being helpless, works magic. Immediately it works, you can see. Hasn't it been working? How many of you have experienced it working? Yeah, see.
Dear Guruji, why is it that many people who take special care of their health catch disease with no fault of their own so often, and many people who waste themselves smoking, drinking, eating junk food don't get diseases that often?
Just they are in the queue, they are just waiting. You have forgotten that you have also done at some point of time, violated the nature. Well, dwelling too much on our disease again is not healthy thing. Oh, body, believe that your body has the ability to adopt and move on. We seem to forget this point that our body has enormous capacity to adapt to situations. You know, this one aspect we seem to neglect or forget. If we remember this, you will see, miracles can happen.
Gurudev, my 9-year-old son is going in a different direction. Too much electronics. How to discipline him?
Well, how to discipline a child? I don't need to tell that to mothers and fathers. You know how you can. If they rebel, if they cry a little bit, so what? Let them do. If you think what you are doing is good for them, don't buy into their tantrums and their crying. Otherwise, later on, they'll be upset with you that you have not been strict enough with them before. Yeah.
When the system of money is so mean, based on inequitable, corrupt practice, how can one rise above the disdain of the system and earn a living? We work so hard, but it's still not enough.
See, when you put this label on yourself, I work so hard, then you are blocking your own energy. You have already put a limit to your energy. Now the next step is you work so hard, the next is exhaustion only. You must know that you have enormous energy, you can work even better and smarter. Not just hard is enough. Hard and smart. Yeah. Again, when we put this seed in our mind, oh, I don't have enough, that's what grows, Even though your income grows, your expenditure also grows. And then it will be a perpetual growth of expenditure, and income anyway keeps coming, but the perpetual growth of the lack, sense of lacking. I think we must change first in our consciousness, start feeling abundance. In India, the previous generation, the grandmothers, my grandmother and all, would always say, if something is not at home, is lacking, they will never say it's lacking, it's not there. they'll say it's in abundance. So suppose we said, Grandma, we want cookies. She'll say, cookies are in abundance, we have to go to the store. You wouldn't say it's empty, no, it's not there. Say it's in abundance, we have to go to the store. So in the language, they were not using the word lack, oh, it's not there, I don't have. No, say, no, it's in abundance, we have to. It would appear very strange language. You say it's in abundance, then why do you have to go to store? It's a consciousness which says, it should start feeling the abundance. Have faith. Whatever you need, you will get it. And work towards, not just sit like a couch potato and watch television. I'll get it anyway. Guruji has said. No. You work towards it and have the faith that you'll get it.
Where does intuition come from?
From in only. That's why it's called intuition. Clarity in mind, purity in heart will bring up the intuitive ability within.
What's the best way to tell someone you love them?
Depends on whom you want to say it, and how you want to say it, and what type of love that is. Okay. That's
We have microphones too.
a microphone. I think that's it. Everybody got enough already. Isn't it?
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry for being so persistent. So I've been suffering from back pain for 20 years and tried all the treatments without success. And now I realize it's psychosomatic, but I'm finding difficulty emotionally trying to believe in the cure, even though I have it in writing. I just can't make myself do. How do I get back on
Have you
hope
done some
and
meditation? Have you done any meditation? No.
Years ago, a long time ago.
No, meditation would definitely help. Huh?
Thank you.
Yoga Nidra especially, you do Yoga Nidra. Huh?
Can big mind say two things? Can our big mind say two things? Our big mind, say like wisdom and intuition. Is it the same, or like if you get some experience from the past, it gives you some wisdom, but at the same time your intuition may say something different. Is it possible?
Intuition can never go wrong. If it has gone wrong, then it was never an intuition. Isn't it? How can you say, my intuition went wrong? Right? Your imagination could go wrong. Your fantasies could go wrong. It was never an intuition. Intuition is something that you will never miss. Right?
Guruji,
Huh?
how to handle deceit and lies at workplace?
With compassion. And patience. patience and compassion. See, when you encounter deceit and lies, what would be your immediate reaction? Anger, right? But does that anger help in getting someone out of their deceit? Yes or no? Does it help? No. Then use your other skills, you use other tricks. Your purpose is to get people out of their deceit and lies, right? Is this what you want? You don't want anybody to lie around you and be in a deceptive state, right? So now you work skillfully towards it. You are reacting, showing anger is not going to help. In fact, that will demand more skillful action from your side. So be skillful and see how you can help them come out of it. Or how you manage to move through those lies of those people if they are not open to change. Got it? Yeah.
Dear Gurudev,
Yeah.
I was at a wellness event for a high school, and we were doing the Yes for School event. A freshman came and asked me a question, and it stumped me a little bit. He said, I understand all this is important, but my question is, why does stress exist?
Oh. Because too much to do, too little time and no energy. That's how stress exists. If you have nothing to do, you don't be stressed. You want many things and you have so much to do and you have no time. That's how stress come into play. Got it? Here? Mike.
What do you do if you have somebody in your life that you have to work with or deal with every day, and they never give you information like to you, they never communicate something to you, and when you ask them, they get angry. They don't like to be asked questions either. And it creates, bad feelings.
How to deal with such people who are not open to communication. And so see, now you know their nature. Their nature is when you ask questions, they get mad at you. Right? And this is one situation. Second is they on their own don't give any information. Now first of all, see how useful is those information which they give you. Is it of any relevance for you? Are those information of any relevance for you? When you love somebody, you want to know everything about them. You want to get all the information about them. Many times it has no relevance for you. It has no use for you. But when you are in deep love with someone, you simply want to know where they went, whom did they speak to, where they sat, what did they do, everything. You start policing in a way. This is a fact. You know why the gap starts developing in relationship? One of the reason is this one, that we want to know, because the nature of love is want to know everything about them. It's nothing wrong. It's in your nature. When you love somebody, you want to know everything about them. But in the process, you end up policing without your own attention, your own knowledge. And just imagine if someone is questioning you, policing you all the time, would you not get irritated? Suppose you are in that position. Someone is asking question to you every now and then. See, every individual has got their own stress, their own lot of things in their head. They had to prove themselves to the society, to the world, to their job, to their client, whatever it is. When they come back home, at home also if they have to answer, what happens? Irritation bubbles up in their head. They don't want to be irritated, but irritation comes in them. So here you need to understand their heart more than their behavior. When our connection is between heart to heart, you don't mind what someone says. You will create a lighter atmosphere. You don't put the burden of proof on someone else. You don't demand a proof someone else of their love towards you. You know what's the biggest hurdle in any relationship? Is asking for the proof of their love towards you. How much one can prove to you that they see, suppose someone demands a proof, do you really love me? Then show me. Then how do you show them that you really love them? Any expression is not sufficient. It cannot convey fully, correct? So take it for granted, even if they ignore you in relationship, what you should tell them? Why do you give me so much attention? Why do you love me so much? Instead of asking me, you don't love me these days, you don't give me attention, you don't do this, you don't do that. Complaining and putting them in a corner to prove themselves to you that they really care for you is going in the direction of decay. Do you see what I am saying? Instead, you say, oh, you see, look at someone, if they're very stressed, oh, you're so lovely, you work so hard. Why do you love me so much? Whenever you feel that their attention is less on you, instead of demanding, you should ask them, why do you love me so much? Empower them of your understanding. Don't let the other person live in a space that they don't understand or you don't understand them. Tell them, I understand you. I know your predicament. I know where you come from. Just like a mother does to the child. No, does a mother ever ask a child, why you did like this, why you behave, blah, 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 blah? Does she? She takes it for granted. There is no question asked there about the integrity, about the connection. Same should be with any relationship. Do you see what I am saying? So when you start behaving like a mother to the whole world, then you will see that your connection with anyone only grows, doesn't break down. Because you want nothing from them. You're coming from a space of giving. Does it make sense?
Gurudev, 2 days ago we had the first World Forum for Ethics in Business in United States. And thank you. We had great speakers. They put their passion for ethics, for transparency. And actually the dean of UC Berkeley, the business school, he shared that just 2 days before the talk, he had a big deal with an investor, like 6 figures type of a deal, and he had to have an ethical decision. You know, the university needs money. At the same time, the ethical principles were in place. So he was proud to say that he basically declined that. So they were sharing very beautiful examples. Now, we want to go to the next step. There is so much need, as you can see, with Cambridge Analytica, Facebook, gene editing, and so forth. What else we can do to change the status quo that's happening all around the world?
I would like you to hold on to this question tight. Don't lose it. It doesn't have one answer. It's like a path on which you can tread several times. So when you keep having this question within you, that what more we can do, you will get a million ideas, or even maybe 1,000 ideas. Let's implement them all. Think about them all.
Thank you. And I want to thank many of the volunteers that work for that conference are here, so thank you all.
Lovely.
We should promote non-violence, and I do get the point. But suppose you find out that the violence is being committed against your own family, then what should you do? Should you stick to your vow of non-violence, or should you break it? What should be your dharma under such a circumstance?
You know, by you being violent, does it pay off?
But what should be your dharma? To stick to your violence or to protect your family?
No, you need to protect the family, no doubt.
And if resorting to non-violence is the only way that you have left to protect that family that you love so much?
See, protecting oneself against violence is not violence. It's defense. Defense is not violence. Do you get it?
Okay.
Violence is something that you do out of rage, anger, frustration on others. Here, someone is coming to attack you and you are protecting yourself. That is called defense.
Okay, so if you resort to violent means, but the motivation behind is love, then in that case, that does not come under violence.
It is... See, you defending oneself against, see, someone is throwing an arrow at you, and defending that is still non-violence. Suppose someone is coming, crazy person is coming with a gun, and he's shooting everybody, and a policeman takes a gun and shoots him. That is still considered violent, non-violence. Okay. Because he is only acting in defense, not as an offense. Got it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Dear Guruji, why are most masters born in India or near India?
Well, it's like asking why artichokes are only in California.
Dear Guruji. Here.
Yes.
So I have had losses in the past, because of which my personality has changed drastically. And I know now I fear attachment. How do I handle that?
So you have diagnosed your issue, problem.
I mean,
So solution is right there. You simply have to let go and move forward, and meditation will help you to move forward. Yeah?
Hello, yeah.
Yes?
I'm grateful to be here. Namaste, Guruji. I have a very different kind of question. We have all these organizations being started to increase consciousness about around the world, from Isha and others. There is an urgent need right now to increase unconditional love and compassion in this universe. We are destroying our planet, and we almost are going to go extinct at the rate we're going. What are your thoughts on all these organizations coming together? This is my personal dream, so that we can accelerate the scale of global consciousness at the leadership level and among populations across cultures and identities created by the ego.
Yeah, yeah. In the purpose and goal, everyone is united. Just their methodologies are different. Everybody does in a different manner.
Yeah, I think it was more about we get into these boxes when we, and I know that's not the intention. Your intention is for the greatest consciousness of the planet. But I think people get into boxes with practices and make the practice the goal, when the goal is unconditional love and caring for the planet.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. See, we had this World Culture Festival in India. We had 2,500, all different people from different paths came on one platform, one stage to give the message of unconditional love. And when it comes to practices, of course, different people will continue their practices. That will remain. But intentions, all like-minded people, whether in the social sector or in the spiritual, religious sector, everyone come together and doing this work. Here we have Michael Beckwith from Agape. Is such a big rocker. A beautiful, beautiful soul. Yeah? And he has inspired so many people, right? He's the light of Los Angeles, yeah, the city. Way back several years ago, I was in Michael's congregation. He had everybody, you know, start dancing and rocking actually. It was so nice. Such positive energy. We need to bring that positive energy, you know, in society.
Hi, Guruji.
Yeah?
Speaking about positive energy, I'm here.
Yeah.
Speaking about positive energy, I find it hard to keep my joy and happiness and loving just like a child kind of energy on a daily basis when a lot of people are taking things seriously or unhappy, or how does one keep the light on?
That's why centers like this are there. Satsangs are there, and you can come together like-minded people and, you know, recharge yourself, energize, find that energy back so that you can go back and spend it out there where it is needed. Yeah?
Guruji,
Yeah.
Many of us are entering our senior part of our lives, you know, and we're still going to have a lot of years left. So what would you advise us for the long haul to sustain the passions of life creatively to keep us going over the long haul?
You know, just don't bother about it. Who says you are senior citizen? Only when it comes to air ticket, you can say that you are senior citizens. But the rest of the time, forget you are a senior citizen. Just take everyday life and you have that passion. It's built in you, you know. And we are here to share, and we share with all those who come to us. Right?
Om Namah Shivaya. I work at a school district, so I work with the children within the spectrum. Most of them are children with autism. So I have a tendency to be more compassionate than a data collector, because most behaviorists who works with children with autism, we are constantly collecting data every minute. So, you know, I enter the world, I want to make a change on these children's in the spectrum, and I have a tendency to be more compassionate than other behaviors, and I get into trouble for doing that. And lately, I truly believe in doing the right thing, because sometimes even the right thing is not the best thing. But, you know, being in a school district, so I even got into trouble for doing the right thing. So my advice, what I want to know from you is, what tools or what can you tell me that I can take it with me to the schools and work with children with the autism? You know, besides collecting data, I mean, how can I engage with them? As you can see, I'm a mother, and I'm a mother of all.
Okay. I got the point.
My passion is with the children.
Yes. Now, when you go to work, just do the work what is required of you to be doing it. Forget about your compassion. Now, it may sound very harsh or even hard for you, but it's not so. You know, your compassion should not be a conscious act of yours. Your compassion is a natural outflow of your energy. Sometimes being strict is also compassion. So, it's not just wiggly and being too goody, nicey things is not just compassion. Compassion is doing the right thing, and the right thing is always the best thing. Or best thing is always the right thing. You can't say best thing is not the right thing. So, you work with your awareness, with your intelligence, with your attention, and what you need to do at that moment. And don't get too much emotional into it. And you know, when we become so emotional, then our right brain doesn't work the way, our left brain doesn't work the way it should work. Then we definitely will get into trouble. Yeah? Okay, I think that's it. The last question, one last one. Yeah.
Jai Gurudev.
Yeah.
Guruji, how do you deal with negative people who are always trying to take advantage of you?
First of all, don't consider them as negative people. Don't label them. Remove that label. Okay? The moment you say they are negative people, you have blocked your communication with them. You have a tendency to block your communication with them. So, do not label them, number one. Second is, even if you think that they are negative people, they are negative in their tendencies, thank them, because they can bring out the best skills out of you to communicate. Your skills are needed only there. to communicate with a good person, you don't need any skill. You can be a dumb fool, and a good person will anyway understand you, even without your communication. You need communication skills only with that type of people. And so thank them, because they can trigger or bring out all those good talents within you, skills from within you. Okay? Okay. And how many birthdays and anniversaries here today? Stand up and then let's celebrate their birthdays. Hi.